Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to welcome all of you to the very first session of Empowering Single Mothers, Single Parents, and Women program, brought to you by Women Without Walls. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, tonight's topic is one that is incredible important for all of us, budgeting basics. Whether you are looking to take control of your finances, set some goals for the future, or just learn how to manage your money better, this session is the perfect start. We will be covering a lot of topics today, and of course, we have a special guest joining us tonight. We are thrilled to have Stacy Thomas, a financial planner, with us to share expert insights on how to better manage finances and plan for a secure future. Stacy's knowledge will be valuable to all of us, and I can't wait to hear the tips and advices she has to offer. So, I want to welcome the Stacy on a virtual stage. Thank you, Stacy, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Karen. I really appreciate this platform here with Women Without Walls. And yeah, so my name is Stacy Thomas, as Karen said, and I've been a part of this amazing platform for about 5 years now. So we've done so many things to help single parents, single ladies, women, and this is actually Women's History Month. So I just want to celebrate everyone and give everyone their, kudos and applause for that. And we want to make sure that everybody has the proper financial literacy and has everything set up to make themselves successful. So I'm going to just share just a general overview of a community that I'm involved with called World System Builder, where we're able to educate families. And we are on a mission to educate 30 million. And out of those here, we will have many from Women Without Walls. And I'm so excited about that. So I'm going to share my screen and please let me know once you see it. And I'm actually going to share a video here. And in this video, you're gonna just, take it in, keep an open mind. You're gonna see people in the beginning maybe very frustrated and see what financial literacy can do for you. And in the end, see how their lifestyle is moving you from financial um, insecurity to financial independence to, at the end of it, financial freedom. And you want to think about what that means to you and how this can change your life and your family's life. So please let me know once you're able to see and hear my screen. Let me know.
Yes, it is visible.
Can you hear?
people like you and me. One system for the people like you and me. One system, one team, and one dream.
Awesome. So I hope that you were able to see there once people do get, financial literacy and they're able to apply it in their life, how they're able to change their life dramatically. As you can see, the difference stressing in the beginning to traveling the world, which I've personally experienced myself, Dion. So here we want to build a new industry, and that is the financial education industry. We want to educate others, right? So it's very, very important that people get knowledge, Denise, and they actually apply the knowledge, right? Because there's many challenges right now. So this book was actually written pre-COVID. So think about it. 54% of Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck, right? That was before this was written, I think 2015. So you can just imagine those numbers now. 35% say it's very challenging to feed themselves and their families. If you've ever been volunteering at any of the food banks here, right here in Canada, you will understand that this number is huge. 34% are not on track at all to retirement. They are not saving enough. They really don't even have any idea of what they need. They don't know what their FIN number is, right? Everybody here, you guys know your SIN number, correct? But Denise, do you know what your FIN number is? That's your financial independent number. That number is going to tell you and calculate how much you need to last during your retirement, right? Because it's a great thing that people are living longer. But unfortunately, so many people are living in poverty. Dion, you know that we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world? Yes, we do, right here in Canada. But so many people have money problems, right? We work so hard all our lives to make sure our kids go to good schools. But guess what, Kiran? They graduate in so much debt. And then debt just becomes a way of life. And why? Let's take a look. Income gaps are widening. If you take like a pie, I like food. So if you take a pizza pie, right? Three-quarters of that pie is going to the rich, the wealthy, the top 20%, right? Meanwhile, only a quarter of the pie, just two slices, 80% of the population. So 80% of families, me, you, everybody else has to fight for that little bit of wealth. In other words, the majority own a minority of the wealth. So how is it that the rich continue to grow rich and the poor become even poorer? Well, in Canada, we actually are one of the wealthiest countries, and you can see here we're number 8, and that gives us almost 1.7 million millionaires right here. So if you add that with the United States, we're over 40% chance globally of becoming millionaires, right? And I'll show you how, because you're probably wondering, I don't know, Stacy, but let's take a look. How did we get here anyways? It's definitely not our fault. Most people don't have a budget, right? Financial goals such as emergency funds or retirement is not their priority. And, you know, they're often influenced by social media, FOMO, the feeling of missing out, right? But guess what? Once you get the information, it's your fault if you don't change. So we can definitely build up our financial future with knowledge, planning, consistent practices over a long period of time. Because you know what? You're not totally free until you're financially free. We know that money is not everything, but at the end of the day, Dion, you need money for everything, right? Trust me, get sick, you need money. If you want to eat healthy, you need money for that organic stuff, right? So money, we do need it. And if we have money and we are blessed, we can be a blessing to others. So change is definitely possible. What we believe here at World System Builder is that you can become your own money manager, right? Understand how money works and make money work for you. Your future is definitely not in the hands of your employer, your union, the school board, your government. It's not in my hands, right? It's not in Karen's hands. The future is in your hands. So I appreciate each and every one here on right now and each and every one who is going to listen to this because you're taking that time out, right? You could be doing anything else. You could be scrolling on TikTok, all kind of stuff, but you're here to learn. And that is the basic building block. So that's the first thing. You want to start digging up the education. And once you start doing that, oh my goodness, Denise, you're going to realize that, oh, I didn't know this or I didn't know that. Like I've done this workshop so many times and I'm like, I don't know anything, right? After you start digging up the root, the main thing is proper protection, making sure that your family has proper protection. Then we move on to debt management, then emergency fund, and last but not least is investments. So this is how you build a strong financial foundation. Just like building a house, you want to start from the ground up. Corinne, would you move into a house where they built the roof first? No, definitely not. You want a solid house. So what does it mean anyways? Like what's proper protection? Well, take a look here. This lady with the umbrella, that's me, right? That little umbrella is my protection. So we want to be protected for the what ifs in life. Okay. So what if, I go to meet my maker a little earlier than I think? What will happen to my family? I want to make sure that I have something that they will be left behind. What if I get sick, right? We're living longer. So we have a high chance of getting some type of ailment, disability, getting an injury, getting some kind of critical illness, right? I might need long-term care. What if I get sick? And what if I live longer? What if I live really long? Then I definitely will probably need long-term care. I don't want to run out of money during my retirement. So we want to make sure that you have proper protection. And next level in building your financial independence is debt management. We want to eliminate all bad debt, right? We want to leverage good debt, but eliminate bad debt. And we have one of our workshops that really specialize in that. And it shows you over 25 different ways where you can find an extra $100 right now that you didn't even know you had, right? I did this workshop and someone found over $600 that they were just spending frivolously they didn't even realize. Like full transparency, he was a smoker and stopped smoking. That was $400 every month going to cigarettes. But there were so many little things. Even when I did it myself, I found, oh, the girls are having Disney Plus. I'm like, oh, why do I have Amazon Prime? I don't really need it. Only during special occasions, but it kept going on. Or a lot of little different things, right? So when you go to that workshop, you're going to see where you can reduce your debt and apply this method called the debt roll-up method. I guess in Canada, because it's cold here, they call it the snowball method, right? And this is a way to pay off your debt dramatically faster. So if you can see here, this person, including all of their mortgage, line of credits, car payments, would have taken 30 years, right? That's the average. That's what we think is normal, 30 years to pay off everything. But when they applied the debt roll-off, they almost paid it almost in half, right? They shaved off over 13 years of interest payments and extra money. Can you imagine, Denise, what you can do with that extra money, right? Once you've paid off everything so much faster? Well, definitely go to the workshop and you'll find more. The next step here is emergency fund. So what do they say? They say 3 to 6 months. That's what they say, right? But I say definitely go for at least a year, Dion, because life is always lifing, right? All of these I've experienced, except the thunder there, the lightning. But my roof does need to be repaired, right? The dishwasher breaks down, the car needs to be repaired, getting laid off. There's so many emergencies. There's always something in life. Something always happens, right? So you want to be prepared for that. And guess what? A credit card is not an emergency fund, right? You want to have something put away that you don't really easily access it, that it'll take care of 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months of your monthly expenses. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, investments. So a lot of people, this is the first thing they do, right? And I am guilty of that too. I had a lot of investments. You know what? I had 10 months worth of emergency fund, but guess what, Karen? In 2015, I got sick. You know what? And Denise, do you know how long I was sick for? Over 2 years. So my 10 months worth of emergency fund, that was gone. And then, of course, my house was all over the place. It was ready to collapse, right? So it's so important that we structure our financial house in this way. Let's talk about investments a little bit more. So, Karen, you know, what can you spend on $17? Like, what can you buy with $17 in one day? Like, what can you purchase?
Like, I don't think so. Nothing I can say that.
You could purchase a lunch, right? Barely. I went to a Subway and I got, the foot long and a bag of chips and a drink, and it was $18.45. Okay, so $17 a day, let's say we can purchase a lunch. But what if you decide to bring your lunch in anyways? Just brown bag it. So here we're taking a look at someone who makes about 60,000 a year, and 10% of that is $500, right? Saving 10% a month, right? Because you want to pay yourself first. So you pay your 10%, pay your tithes, and then you still have 80%. So if you ask someone, can you save $500 a month? They'll be like, oh no, that's crazy. That's a lot of money. But can you save $17 a day? Can you spend $17 a day? Easy, right? Tap, tap, tap. We don't see it go in, we don't see it come out. But if we're disciplined and we save that $17 a day, which is $500 a month, let's take a look at what it looks like over time. So if you're getting an 8% interest rate, then in 30 years, you'll have almost $750,000, right? And we know that, yes, it takes time. There's no get rich quick. So, Corinne, you're in an amazing position to start early. So if you're in your 20s now, by the time you reach my age, you could have this amount saved up for your future. But what if you can get a little bit more? You can get 10% interest rate. Then, bam, you're the millionaire next door. Welcome, right? These are the millionaires that we're talking about. A lot of people are walking around like this. They're just average, regular, everyday people, but they have invested the right way in their money. The next major thing you have to understand with money and knowing how money works is understanding taxes, right? So when saving, you want to consider the effect that taxes can have on your income. Number one, there's places that you get taxed immediately, right? Some people don't realize your checkings and your savings account is taxed now because they don't have any money in there, really. They're not getting any interest, right? If you get some money in there, you'll get a T5 slip and you'll have to pay your interest. You have to pay on your taxes every year that year. If you have mutual fund stocks, you have to pay, right? There are other accounts that you'll get taxed later, right? So when you're ready, maybe in retirement, you get taxed on the seed and the harvest. So would you rather be taxed on the seed in the beginning, or would you rather be taxed on the full growth of everything? That's what you're going to ask yourself, right? Then this is my favorite category, tax advantage, right? No, little to no tax. I always tell people max out these accounts. So Canada introduced recently in 2023 the first time homebuyer savings account, right? And this is a brilliant account because it is a hybrid between the tax-free savings and the RRSP, registered retirement account. And within this account, you actually get a tax credit, right? So that'll reduce your income for that tax year, and you're able to, possibly get money back depending on your circumstances and how much you make. But the money that you put towards your house, you don't have to pay it back. So that's a great thing too. Then, of course, there's a tax-free savings account, and I always tell people max out this. If you have been living in Canada from before 2009 and you're eligible, then I think it's a little over $102,000 of room in there. But what you can do is check your CRA when you do your taxes, and it'll show you exactly on there how much space you have available to put into a tax-free savings account. And then, of course, life insurance. So life insurance is great because when you have one that has cash value, that grows there, and it grows with tax advantage and lots of tax benefits. You want to find out if you're paying too much. And we have a book called Saving Your Future, and that you can look on page 17 and know exactly a little bit more about taxes and understanding. So, I don't know if I said it before, but guess what? We're living longer with all the medical advancements. So that is amazing. So today's planning, it really, really requires holistic thinking. You want to think of everything from the cradle to the grave. It's more than just retirement. As people retire, they want to do other things. They just don't want to just, I guess just sit and not do anything. They have a lot of second careers, right? So people do career changes. Even people older are having families later in life, and they're going back to school. And definitely, definitely, one that I love is vacationing, right? But there's also a lot of, health concerns. So people don't really plan to fail. They just fail to plan. A lot of people, they spend a lot of time planning a wedding, but they don't really spend a lot of time planning for the future. So, like we said, we want to build a strong financial foundation and move people from financial insecurity to financial security. And last but not least is financial independence, right? What does that mean to you? Financial freedom. Does that mean traveling the world? Does that mean just going to a restaurant and not having to look on, is it the right side? Yeah, where the prices are? Or being able to maybe send back home money to your family and help them? What exactly does financial independence mean to you? So Dion, you know what? We have, I think this number is like 600 now. We have over 600 financial centers all across Canada and the United States and the Philippines. And we have a book, and this book we are able to share with so many communities. I've partnership personally with Roots Community, with Vision of Hope. We've done this for Rob Bumble for the deaf community. Oh my goodness, so many places. Right now, we have someone in, I think it's Vancouver, don't quote me, who is partnering with the CRA, and they've done it in the US with the, I think it's IRS or something. Yeah, I don't know all the terms. But once again, all of this is just for information purposes, right? So we have 6 workshops. One is building and saving wealth, then increasing your cash flow and managing debt. Then we have preparing with proper protection. So you can really understand what it means to be properly protected, and understanding asset accumulations. The millennials, yeah, they love this one. The Gen Zs, they love this one because it's all about investments, right? If you want to know S&P 500, go to workshop number 4. Then 5, fulfilling long-term goals like getting post-secondary education and retirement. And last but not least is workshop 6. One of my favorites. This is preserving your wealth and estate. So this is all about wills, power of attorney, all those things. That's very, very crucial. So we have a community that really, really cares. And I believe it's now over 100,000 members on this community. And here you can see that people just have great things to say about it. And they really, really love being a part of World System Builder because we're able to give back, right? I consider this my money ministry, and I love that Women Without Walls has decided to incorporate some of this information to educate our community. And that's exactly what we do. We do it in people's homes. We do it in public libraries, right? We do it inside schools. So you can see here, Dahlia Maya has taken this workshop to Harvard University. I don't know if you guys know how much like one semester costs at Harvard. I think it's over 50K US. So our workshops, you know what the cost is? They're complimentary, right? Really, it's your time. It's just your time, which is priceless. That's why we got to make sure we got the right thing for you here. And of course, places of worship. I've personally done this at Faith Miracle, at Transforming Faith, at Lyle Memorial. I've done it in many, many places of worship because guess what? Everyone deserves financial literacy. And small businesses like Oracle and even corporations, government agencies, like I said. So yes, the FBI, police department, and fire department, we've educated their employees. And of course, last but not least, actually most important, is our friends and family. And we're able to do this now online anywhere in the world. And it really doesn't matter where the person is from because the core value of the education is the same. They could be in Jamaica, they could be in France, they could be in Guyana, they could be in Nigeria, right? Maybe the time difference might be a thing, but the core information, of paying yourself first, those type of things, Rule of 72, understanding how money works is the same in any language. It's just that we can't physically help them. They would have to seek someone else to help them there. But getting the information and the financial literacy is what's important. And we're going to even be working in some of the schools as well. So we also give back, which is what I really, really love, right? So we give back to our community because guess what? Education is important, but so is clean water. Everyone deserves clean water. So we are one of the biggest contributors to Charity Water. And you can look it up. It's an amazing company that drills wells all over the world so that people can get clean water so that they can live. So find something that you believe in, right? And make sure that you work towards that. We would love everyone to join us because guess what? We can build a better future together. We want freedom, right? Flexibility to be able to work from home or, go on vacation when you want without having to ask your boss. Oh, can I get 2 weeks off? Didn't you just go to Turkey? Yes. Okay. Also, the lifestyle, right? We want to live a nice, healthy lifestyle. And of course, purpose. That's the number one thing. People want to have a strong purpose and know that they're doing good in the things that they do. Life is definitely too short to just work, 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 and die, right? That's what happened with my dad. He died when he was only 63 years old and I was 29 years old, right? That's when I got a crash course in estate planning. That's why workshop 6 is one of my favorites. And he didn't even get to a dime of his pension, right? So it's so important that we live with a purpose, our God-given purpose. So help us with our financial literacy campaign. So who Denise, I don't know. So that's why we want to reach out to everybody. It's word of mouth to get this information out to as many people as possible. We want to increase your knowledge and build multiple sources of income. After what happened in COVID, I think everyone knows that if one income is not enough, right? I got laid off during COVID and I was just so blessed that I had this platform that I was able to continue to support my family. And of course, like I said, flexibility. Start building a business in the growing financial industry and be your own boss, right? We live in a capitalist country. Guess what? You can't just work 2, 3, 4 jobs. Those jobs are just to pay your taxes, right? When you have your own business, then you get a lot of tax credits and a lot of tax write-off. So it's important. Whatever you feel that you love to do, register that business and do it so that you can be your own money manager and you can be an entrepreneur and a business owner. And of course, enjoy the benefits of building an organization in many, many cities, right? We're not limited just to the provinces here in Ontario. I actually have my license in Texas as well. So I'm starting to grow in the US. And here we have the opportunity to travel the world. Since I've been a part of World System Builder, I have gone to Thailand, which I would never go on my own because I don't understand the language. I don't know the culture. I would never go on my own. I would just normally go back to Jamaica, which is where my family is originally from. And that's where I would be comfortable. I've also had the opportunity to go to Hawaii and to California and to Turkey and to Portugal and Spain. And guess what? In September, we're going to South Korea, right? So these are places that I've been able to take my children and it's totally expanded their mind. So what they may have learned, like in a classroom, for example, Denise, they actually got hands-on. So I know they remember that type of history. It's something that stays with them and it's something that has expanded their vision. So the lifestyle is something that is absolutely amazing. And of course, like I said, purpose. We educate and help families. to build a strong financial foundation. And by doing that, we're able to change people's lives. So, what do? We build a strong financial education system, and this is growing. So I know now in some of the schools they're starting with some financial literacy. I know when my daughter was in high school, they started with some, but guess what? When I was going to school, no, they didn't have that at all, right? I got my degrees here in the US, but they didn't have it. But now I think you still have to choose it. It's an elective, right? So I'm not sure elementary school how they're putting it in, but we would love to share all of this information there and help families build a strong financial foundation. What you want to do is we help people start a career on a flexible part-time basis, and many become entrepreneurs building a large organization in multiple cities. So you want to ask yourself this question: would you rather shrink your dreams to fit your current income or increase your income and build your dreams? So join our cause. Help us to fight financial literacy, financial insecurity, and financial illiteracy. The only way that we are going to get to our goal of 30 million is if each and every one tells one. So I appreciate each and every one of you here. And there's just a quick little survey. If you would like, you can go ahead. This is the survey here, but I have it in a, what do you call it? A PowerPoint, or no, where's the survey? Let's see, sorry. I have it in, yeah, you can scan. So you can scan and you can fill in the survey. And if you have any questions or concern, you can always contact me. My name is Stacy, and you can contact me. I believe Karen will have all of my details in for the podcast or whatever it is that she's doing here for school. But I appreciate each and every one of you coming on today, and thank you so much. This is just a little opening that we wanted to share. And if you want to know more, we do have workshops every single day, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m., 8 p.m., and 10 p.m. Eastern. And we go in depth into debt management. We go into in depth into everything that you've seen there in the program, investments, everything. So definitely come back and join us for our workshops. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stacey. That was really nice. And yes, we will uh, give the feedback and review the survey. Thank you for all the things.
Right. Thank you to Women Without Walls. Thank you for each and everyone that joined us today, Arlene, Denise, Kiran, and Dion, and everybody who is going to watch online. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining
Thank
us
you. Thank
tonight.
you.